So I've noticed that all my previous videos have tended to end up on a more of a sour, negative note. That was never my intention. That's just the way it just ended up being, unfortunately. But in this video, I want to bring the good vibes. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm all revved up. Gears of War, baby. Let's go. I have been elected representative and speak for all male human species when I say that this game is awesome. This game was engineered in the laboratory. Everything about this game is designed to appeal to our smooth, small brains. Everything about this game hits. Tell me these weren't your reactions playing this game. Oh! Whoa. Whew. Alright. Now that's all the gratuitous violence out of the way.
Get him!
Man, this video is definitely not going to do well in the algorithm. And before you comment, yes, I only have like 3 shirts. So I was introduced to this game by a buddy of mine. I'd go to his house after school, and one day after we finished shredding on Guitar Hero, he busted out this game. So the main character you play as is Marcus Phoenix. This dude's jacked, has a deep voice, and made bandanas cool again. Because this game had a local co-op and I was player 2, I always got to play as Dom. And if you know, you know. So you're introduced to this game and you are escaping from prison. Why are you in prison? Tax evasion. So you are immediately thrown into the action here with heavy hitting guns, jacked dudes and bulky armor. And this game utilized a cover system, which at the time for me, that was a first. It implemented a reloading mechanism where you could just reload your weapon and yeah, no harm, no foul. Or you can try your chance at getting the perfect reload. Little bar slides, and if you manage to stop it at the right place, the sound it makes.
6-4, we are moving your location.
The feedback you get from the controller, even your character in-game acknowledging it. Man, the sense of reward, small brain. If you haven't played these games before, you would be forgiven for thinking this is just another typical dirty, gritty shooting game. You are right, it is all those things. But this game does something amazing. The way the story unfolds organically, it's not directly force-fed to you. The environmental storytelling and also just the quippy lines the characters say back and forth to one another. Also the way that the fate of the world is at stakes here, but by the end of the game you actually genuinely care for your individual characters. I must admit, I wasn't the greatest at multiplayer at this game. Like I said, I was new to the cover system. Also, the third person view was a bit new to me as well. But my buddy was freakishly good at this, so he just wanted to run multiplayer all the time. I just wanted to run the campaign. But because back then I wasn't the dome-topping, bad guy-stopping freak that I am today, every kill in multiplayer felt earned and rewarding. On the flip side though, every time you got your head blown off or ripped in half by a chainsaw, you felt that in real life too. We played this game so much together and we also wanted to complete it on the hardcore difficulty. And when those achievements popped up on the Xbox 360, man, that was... And when I say hardcore, I do mean hardcore. This game was so hard that I'm not even going to put a joke here. So I've mentioned the cover system here as well. And the good thing about it wasn't just another mechanic. It really felt like these maps and the missions were designed with this mechanic in mind. A lot of the time you'd find yourself pinned down in a sort of narrow hallway or something like that, pinned down by machine guns, and you actually had to work with your buddies and, you know, end up pulling like a flanking maneuver and stuff like that. It was the gameplay, incredible. You couldn't really run and gun even though you're jacked. This game came out in the hype when every game was good, like I said in my previous video, peak 360 era, but it still fell victim to the tropes that were around that time. When you see an area like this, any real gamer knows what's going to happen next. You bunker down and defend wave after wave of enemy bad guys. This seems like a good mechanic. We should keep this in mind. Now with the first Gears of War 1, I just want to rattle off a couple highlights here. Coltrane, baby, woo! Hammer of Dawn, baby, woo! And this. the most badass bad guy intro to any form of media ever. General Ram, baby. Beta Thanos, this guy was him. So, there is a lot to talk about with Gears of War 1, but how about we rip this bitch into second gear and talk about Gears of War 2, baby. So I got this game for Christmas, which for me, unfortunately, meant I had to go on my yearly camping trip with the family. All I could think about whilst I was on that trip was just getting home and playing this goddamn game. Everything good about Gears of War 1, this game did gooder. Better gameplay feel, better collectibles, and I would be stupid if I didn't mention Horde mode. Remember that great idea I said before about bunkering down and defending against waves and waves of enemies? They did it. Those mad sons of bitches actually programmed this to be its own game mode. This was... I love the campaign, but I'm pretty sure I spent just as much time playing this Horde mode with my buddies, trying to see how high we can get in these levels. And if you knew the shield glitch, you're a real one. So whilst I was on holiday, my buddy who helped me write the script, by the way, shout out to you, he played the game and he was so excited for me to come back to experience the story with him as well. There was a moment, I have a memory that will stick with me for years to come. I still remember it to this day. And this is from me. I can't even remember passwords to apps that I use every day. With the help of modern technology, I'm going to try my best to recreate this memory. It probably won't translate as well, but I just want to do it.
Oh shit! Take it out, it's Ram only cooler!
Ram point 2, this dude was Scourge. Absolute weapon, absolute freak. Literally the expression when this guy popped up on the thing. God. Woo! I have another great memory about when I was playing this game. I was home alone. It was a Saturday night. I'm camped up in my beanbag 2 meters away from the TV. For some reason, I had a plastic bag full of Pepsi Max cans. I don't know why I didn't put them in the fridge. They were just, it was just full. So the same buddy night, we were playing Gears of War 2 campaign all night. And this was our first playthrough, playing together. So for some reason, I got up. So I took my headset off. I got up probably to make some 2-minute noodles or some Easy Mac for dinner. Like I said, I was home alone. So when I came back, I was stopped in my tracks, frozen. What I saw shook me to my core. My dog had ripped up my headset, and I was just looking at a murder scene. I slowly pick up my headset. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's really good to hear your voice too. That's how I wish it went. But no, the microphone was fucked. We spent the rest of that night communicating with the old keyboard attachment on the Xbox 360 controller. But luckily, my guy and I were so locked into each other that we knew exactly what each role and responsibility we had each playing. So it didn't really hinder us that much, but I don't know. Just to hear his laughter and he not being able to hear my laughter, I really feel like he didn't get the true experience. Another standout for me with this game was the set piece, Lithia Emulsion Facility. This whole map was so freaky. It turned down and slowed the pace of the running gunning game style to more of a horror survival aspect. It was daunting. This game had me jumping out of my seat. I was peeking every corner. I was checking behind me all the time. This was just so gosh darn freaky. And it just kicked the environmental storytelling up 100% as well. Where the first game was predominantly grey, this game did add a lot of other colour range to it as well, and that really helped sell the ambience of what you were playing. I said before that these games aren't just run and gun shooters, there was a personal aspect and real individual character stories as well. None so greater and sadder than this.
I can't believe it, Marcus. We finally found her.
That's Dom finding his wife. My wife. And rather letting her suffer. He ended her suffering. Talk about story and emotion. Eat shit, Call of Duty. So I used to make little montages, and cutting and editing together little trailers for all types of video game trailers, and I used to have them on my iPod. And one day at school, my iPod got stolen from my bag. And keep in mind, back then, games weren't cool. You couldn't make a career out of it, you couldn't talk about it out loud, and you for sure could not get a girlfriend. I didn't tell anybody that my iPod was stolen. I was just so scared that my dirty little secret would come out, that I was a fucking nerd. Third gear, Gears of War 3, baby, woo! This took Horde mode and implemented more of a tower defense strategy and game mechanics to it as well, making the replayability and co-op even better. Throughout the series, you are introduced to the Carmine brothers as well. In Gears 1, he dies.
Sniper!
In Gears 2, he dies.
Carmine.
So during production of Gears of War 3, the development studio actually put a poll out to its fans and asking whether Carmine should live or die. This is a great example of a developer actually listening to this community and listening to its fans.
Jeez Louise, what the fuck?
Hey, check fire! We're on your side!
He lived, by the way. This game also had the payoff to one of the most underrated game characters, I think, of all time. And spoilers for this one, just in case you haven't played the Gears of War franchise and you are planning on playing them, because this is a really big moment. And that's the sacrifice of Dom. He sacrificed his life to save his friends and his comrades, the only people he had left in the world. Because I was player 2, I was always playing as Dom, so I felt like really that was my sacrifice as well. Like I said, I was playing this with my buddy, and when this cutscene came on, I don't think none of us will admit it, but at the time, there were tears. Tears of war. Chainsaws! This game had amazing set pieces as well, and again, follows through on the character development. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna. Marcus finds out that his father is alive and is key to wiping out the bad guys. Even though the stakes are world-ending and apocalyptic, it still hunkers down on the real personal characters and stories. Now, this next bit will be controversial. My buddy and I prided ourselves on playing all these games on the hardcore difficulty. It was our thing. With this game, we had other friends that helped us when we played online, because this last mission was a nightmare. Now, here we were, chomping through some baddies, and I had to go AFK. I don't know why, I can't remember, but it must have been important.
Honey, can I see you?
I can't pause it, Mum, it's online. By the time I got back, the final cutscene had just started to play. Now, my buddy thinks that this doesn't count, but you know what I say to you? Go and check my achievements, buddy. I'll wait here. Whew, there, I did it. A video where all the games rocked and none of them sucked. They didn't get worse and worse, they were all great. And that's it, all the Gears of War games. Thanks for coming with me on a journey through Gears of War through my eyes. Through my eyes. You're gonna make me talk about the other ones, aren't you? There are more Gears of War games than the first 3, but to be honest with you, I didn't play them. Usually I like to play games, watch movies and experience them myself before I form an opinion. But when my buddy, who I've been on my whole Gears of War journey with, when he's played them all and he tells me they're garbage, not to waste my time, I put weight to that. I trust him. One of them had this traversal mechanic where you'd sail between missions. Why? You're just adding administrative tasks. This could have been a menu level select. You don't have to open world everything, and you can tell this is when the time when, this sort of game was becoming more and more popular. Can you imagine a Gears of War open world game? You'd go and clear out a locust stronghold. Next minute you can plug in your satellite to connect up there and more of the map will be revealed. Stop. Why? Nobody wants this. Nobody asked for it. And that's what I think made the first 3 games so good. Select linear missions, put me on rails, strap me in, and let's get this train going, baby. When I look back at these games, what really stands out for me is the co-op. Cooperation, working with your buddies to solve problems and achieve goals together. It's not always about versing each other and see who has the quickest reaction speeds. That's one thing that really resonates with me with the first 3 Gears of War games. And that's also summed up in the Gears of War 3 trailer. Brothers to the end. Yeah. I think that's a pretty positive thing to end on. Thanks for coming with me on my journey and my experiences with Gears of War through my eyes. I didn't see you there. In all seriousness, guys, thanks for watching these videos. To all the new subscribers out there, really appreciate all the helps that you can do. But also, if you like these Through My Eyes videos, please let me know. If you would like to see something different, maybe more of like a deep dive, analytical character study or story recap even, let me know what kind of content you would like. Because, hey, I'll try anything. I want to quit my job. Thanks for watching.